This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosick.
And hi again, everybody. Good morning. Welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on the Fan. Busy week in the golf world. Signature event on tour. The PGA Tour Champions up in Firestone this week, and a major on the ladies' side with the Women's PGA Championship down in Texas. We'll break it all down and visit with longtime golf writer Ron Sirak. And as always, we have another terrific golf prize package to give away. Details on that coming your way shortly. But we are thrilled to be joined in studio this morning to talk course design and renovation, a couple of the best in the best as far as doctors, Mike and Chris Hurdzan. I mean, seriously, world-renowned golf course architects have their hands on so many projects worldwide, based right here in Columbus. Gentlemen, good morning. As someone who appreciates what you do, this is a treat. Thanks for coming down.
Good morning, Skip. You're most welcome.
Yep. So many places to start. And, Mike, let's begin with Erin Hills. Hosted a handful of USGA events, including the U.S. Open in 17, Women's Open just a couple of weeks ago. I love the story about how that project came together from beginning to end. And I guess take us through it, because I think that story of Erin Hills is fascinating.
Well, it is fascinating, Skip. And, you know, it actually began well before the golf course started. There was a young man named Steve Tratner who was loved the game of golf. He was a sort of a computer programming kind of guy, had no money whatsoever. He finds a wealthy guy in Bob Lang who doesn't know anything about golf. And so Steve convinces Bob to build that golf course. It started out as going to be a $50 green fee golf course. And they hired Dana Fry, my former partner, Ron Witten, who was a Golf Digest article at that time, writer. He was a senior architectural editor. And we built this golf course. Well, before it was built, the USGA visited and saw what we were doing and awarded a tournament, the Ladies Pub Links, there before we were even finished with the construction. And then it has gone from there. But then, unfortunately, when the housing bubble burst, Bob lost it all, and a very wealthy hedge fund guy took it over and dumped the money that it needed in there, and that's why they've had the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, and now the Ladies Open. And the Ladies Open was fantastic. Chris and I were there for the week, and we got to see the ladies up close and personal and see how they played that golf course.
It's interesting as far as what you do and how you create a golf course out of a piece of land. One of the interesting parts that I love, I've thought so fascinating about the Erin Hill story, was the goal to move as little earth as possible. I mean, how do you realize when you go see something, a site like that, it's like, well, I see this and I see this, and we don't really have to do anything other than, maybe build some greens.
Yeah. Well, Dana, Ron, and I, we set the goal for ourselves. We would not change the natural grade more than a foot. So that...
How rare is that?
Oh, it's totally rare. I mean, it's even these guys that are working in the sand dunes and Bandon Dunes and up in Wisconsin and down in Florida, they're moving incredible amounts of earth. And all of those greens were shaped in by one guy in 10 days. Everything was just as lay of the land. We didn't even plow the areas for the fairways. We actually killed the grasses that were there and seeded into right into the natural terrain. So that's why there's little bumps and ripples and rolls that God left.
I like to cook. And I know the old saying that, too many cooks in the kitchen. What can I do to help get out of my kitchen, get out of my kitchen? You mentioned the other gentleman involved with Fry and Witten. Three guys, collaborating on the same design, all speaking the same language. Any disagreements as far as, well, this goes here, this doesn't go here, or as far as that stuff?
Well, we're all gentlemen. And
you're all good at what you do, too.
Yeah, and so we would hash it out, and things would get changed from time to time. One of my favorite stories is that once when I was there and Ron Witten wasn't, I had flagged in a bunker, and I came back and I asked the project manager, I said, well, where's the bunker I flagged in? He goes, well, Ron came and pulled the flags because you weren't here. So I said, did Ron flag in a bunker? And he said, yeah, he flagged in one over there. I said, let's go over there. And I pulled the flags, and I said, when Ron shows up, tell him that Mike pulled the flags and he wasn't here to defend it. So there were moments like that. But we enjoyed each other's company. We lived together in a house that was on the property, and we're still best of friends. Matter of fact, Ron and I spent 2 days together walking the course during the Ladies Open.
Well, again, we have the Hurdzans in studio this morning talking course design, tee to green here on the Fan. And, Chris mentioned there for the Ladies Open a couple of weeks ago. It was interesting as far as me trying to see. I always love to see how golf courses mature over time. But that's a piece of property that, again, there's not a lot of trees anyway. Did it mature at all in your mind from the Men's Open in 17 to the Ladies Open just a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I think there's, a golf course, especially as large as that is, 650 acres and 18 holes, and that's the hardest part, actually whittling it down to the 18 that it is. There's so many different variety of opportunities out there on course setup, and that was the way it's done. You played from 6,500 to 8,400 yards,
right?
And so I think the maturation is not just on the maintenance side with the superintendent and the grass fries and getting things to set up and flow, but is really how do you set the course up for the particular players that you have at that time. And remember, it's a public golf course.
Sure. And
it's got to be fun. You got to move green fees through. It's got to be profitable. But you also got to host major championships. The maturation is the strategy really behind how do we want to set the course up to challenge the current set of players that we have there right now.
Mike, Chris brought up public golf course. And as far as, wanting the average player playability as far as course design. I mean, there's places here, and I'm not going to name any names, but there's some private clubs here in town that, in my opinion, they're set up. It's too difficult for even an average player to play because of forced carry. You have, some greens that are completely surrounded by water you can't get to. Where do you stand as far as design in regards to making it difficult but still being playable?
Well, those comments you just made, Skip, are why we love you, man. We totally agree with you. The game is supposed to be fun. Probably of all the golfers, took all the golfers in the world, maybe 10% of them or 15% are competitive golfers. The other 85% are recreation golfers, and they want to have a decent score, and they want to have a putt for a birdie, and they don't want to be looking for golf balls everywhere. And so really we have to keep in mind it is a recreational sport that people are meant to enjoy, and it needs to be family-oriented.
Right.
We need to allow grandma, grandpa, and the grandkids to be able to join you in a round of golf.
Hey, Skip, can I interject and say, the greatest compliment you can get, and actually let my father take this. Nellie Korda said it after the U.S. Women's Open. There's two diametrically opposed elements of golf design. There's hard, and then there's fun/fair. And anyone can make it hard. Anyone can make it fun/fair. So how do you, just like the car industry has taken fast and miles per gallon and somehow put all that stuff together? And I think that's the greatest compliment when she had a press conference afterwards and they asked her, what'd you think? This is world number 2, by the way, I believe she is.
Yes.
And said
she's
basically,
okay. She can play.
Yeah, she's from a golf course, and said basically it kicked our rear ends. However, we respected the golf course because we knew that was going to happen. And we were pleased with the outcome because it was in our control. What we shot is what we shot. It wasn't just by the grace of God or the way that the universe was turning at the time. And so that's the greatest compliment you get on a golf course, and that's why Erin Hills, I think, is so well regarded. It's hard as HELL, but it's fair.
Mike, last thing, this segment, when you see a piece of property, this is a complete design question. As you begin something, you just have a plot of land. What do you see first? Do you see the greens, or do you see the tees and working up as far as hole layouts? So what do you see first, and then how do you design backwards? Do you go forwards, or is it a combination of both?
Well, it's interesting who the client's going to be. If it's going to be a member club, that's different, than if it's going to be a public play golf course. Excuse me, Skip. And if we know that it's going to be pay for play and it's going to be profitable, we'll set that up different than a members club might be, which will tend to be a little bit more challenging. But to answer your question, we usually start from the engineering side first.
Okay.
The government tells us where you're going to enter the property, where you're going to get the sewer and water. The government will tell you basically where you're going to get fire protection and police and where we're going to give you permits and not. So we usually start at the clubhouse area.
Okay.
And then the single thing, and the biggest thing anymore is the driving range. That takes up the most amount of space.
Really?
That's the first thing that goes in, and then we fit the golf holes after that.
Would never have guessed that. Would never have guessed driving range is more so than the golf course.
Well, it's the complete opposite as it used to be. You know, where the driving range used to go, Skip, where we didn't know where to put any golf holes. Yeah. We had this triangle piece of property. Hey, just put like a driving range. Now it's the first thing on the docket.
All right, some great videos on YouTube, but also some cool history on also the many projects at HurdzanGolf.com. More with the Hurdzans coming up, but right now let's see what's happening in the golf world this week as we get you warmed up with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
TPC River Highlands, the site of this week's final signature event on tour this season. Three-way tie for the lead at 9 under par. We'll begin with Scottie Scheffler, who followed up Thursday's 62 with a 69 Friday. Scheffler saying he played well despite the windy conditions outside of Hartford.
I played really nice again today. I bogeyed 6 early. I had a weird line the second shot, and I kind of chunked it. And then after that, I hit pretty much each shot the way I wanted to. Just didn't get the results from it. But outside of that, I felt like I played pretty well. It was very challenging out there with the wind gusts. You really, really have to get the wind perfect each time. And if you're hitting a little bit more chippy shots and kind of working the ball, you can kind of manage some of those gusts.
Justin Thomas also tied for the lead following a 64 Friday. JT saying he avoided trouble on a challenging day.
I hit a lot of really, really good iron shots. I felt like I was in good control. I didn't feel like I didn't drive it very well. I kept it in play and kept it in front of me, which was, is a big part of it. But I just kind of kept it out of trouble, which is, I would much prefer be hitting the middle of the club face than doing that. But it's still a good sign in a really windy day like this. If I have far from my best, I can just kind of get it around the course and then just stayed patient and finally, made some putts on that back 9. So it was nice.
Tommy Fleetwood with a pair of eagles on Friday to also grab a share of the lead. Meanwhile, a shot back is Westerville resident Jason Day at -8. Jason Day, how windy was it Friday?
It was tough. It's one of those days where you're sitting there going, you wake up, and I knew I had an afternoon tee time, and I'm sitting in my bus, and the bus is moving. I'm like, that's a pretty strong wind to move a bus. You get out here, and then I decided to check the weather, and it was 15 to 20 miles an hour, but gusts of 40. That's usually one where you're like, oh no, like you're looking forward to it, but you also it's going to be a grind.
All chasing your leaders, Scottie Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and Tommy Fleetwood at 9 under par. Elsewhere, PGA Tour champions up at Firestone this week. Stephen Alker, Ricardo Gonzalez, and Tim Petrovic share the lead at -5. They lead by 1. Korn Ferry Tour is in Wichita. Quade Cummins and Harry Hillier at -13. They lead by 2. Former Buckeye Neil Shipley is at -2. He misses the cut by 1. Ladies down in Texas for the Women's PGA Championship. Gino Thidicol -6. She leads there by 3. Your leaderboards were brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. Again, we have doctors Mike and Chris Hurdzan in studio with us this morning. More from them coming up. But next, we'll get a final wrap on the U.S. Open and talk a little bit more about the Women's PGA Championship with longtime golf writer Ron Sirak as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Hey, Jerry, I think I invented something.
Does it solve a problem?
It solves a big problem.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Heating and cooling companies are telling people your furnace and AC isn't worth fixing. You need to replace it with a whole new system.
You invented a solution for that?
I invented a way to fix those systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
That's a great invention. How does it work?
Step 1 is to pay Eco to fix it.
I thought you said you'd fix it for free.
Step 2 is that we give you back all the money that you paid us, up to $1,500 when you get Eco to replace it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What if your repair keeps my system running for several more years?
That would mean you got all those extra years for free.
Paying Eco to fix your AC system is like putting money in the bank.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and I remember the first time I understood that old saying about giving a man a fish. It made so much sense, and I see examples of it all the time. Take the new weight loss meds, for instance. Think about this. You take a shot, you eat less, and you lose weight. But the second you stop, the weight comes back. You never actually changed anything besides eating less of the same bad things. I wasn't interested in renting my results. I wanted to own them. That's why I chose Awaken 180. I needed a lifestyle change, I knew it, and I was excited about it. A medication-free path to long-term weight loss. That's exactly what I got. It's been 1.5 years since I dropped my 50 pounds, and I've kept it all off. Awaken 180 taught me how to adjust my approach to food. A real-time education on how to keep it off while losing the weight. I say, learn how to fish. It's easy, it's fast, and for the long-term bonus, no medications. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com, 844-346-1800.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
The biggest thriller this summer is blockbuster savings at Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trax for $159 a month. A new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. Or a new 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. This month only at Coughlin Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. N63025.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Loads and fees erode your retirement savings. Let us show you how to protect your nest egg. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
It's not even 10 in the morning and you're already trying to flag down the beverage cart. Don't worry, we've all been there. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mossick on The Fan.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thank you for listening. More with the Hurdzans coming up. Big treat for us this morning. Love what these gentlemen do. So more with them coming up in just a couple of minutes. We have another great golf prize package to give away this week. We have golf to go play out at the Virtues, a gift card to check out the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. Pretty cool place there. Balls from our friends at Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies for you this week as well. No Twitter contest, so stay tuned. We'll have details on this week's giveaway shortly, and your chance to make this great prize package yours.
This is Backspin. Tee to Green. Backspin.
Joined for a couple of minutes now by longtime golf writer, Hall of Famer, now contributor for Golf Channel, Ron Sirak. And Ron, good morning. Let's begin with the U.S. Open. You're an old Western Pennsylvania guy. Did Oakmont live up to everything that we had hoped and more?
I thought going into the tournament that Oakmont's the toughest golf course in the United States, and nothing that happened last week changed my opinion about that. I think it's a brilliant design, and I thought it was really well set up by the USGA, too. You know, they said to those guys who like to play bomb and gouge golf on the PGA Tour week in and week out, if you're going to hit the ball 340, you better put it in the fairway. And they made it a really true championship test, I thought.
The one thing you can never control, Ron, is the weather. It was unfortunate. The couple of downpours that we saw over the weekend was amazing. They were able to get things back where it was playable, but it did feel really bad for Sam Burns. Unfortunately, those are the breaks. Did you agree or disagree with the ruling? And I guess why or why not?
Yeah, I don't agree with the ruling. It looked to me like casual water. I mean, my understanding of the rule is if when you put your feet near the ball, water comes up, then around your shoes, that's casual water. And it looked to me that's what happened. So, yeah, I thought that was a bad break. The rain was a problem. I remember I tweeted on Friday going into the weekend. I said, depending on how much rain falls overnight, I think +2 is going to win this tournament. But an inch and a half of rain did fell. It made the golf course play. The greens were just as fast, but it made the fairways play wider because they weren't getting as much run out. A ball would land a couple of yards short of the rough and not roll into it, where 2 days earlier it would have. So yeah, that's the one thing that the USGA can't control is Mother Nature.
Last thing on Oakmont, Ron, was the winning putt by J.J. Spahn. I mean, I know he got a peek from Victor Hovland, but regardless, you've been there. I don't think people realize how much break and undulation was in that putt. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah, my first reaction as I'm watching the putt is it's about halfway to the hole. I'm thinking, oh, wow, he's going to cozy it up there really nice and get his 2-putt for the win. And then it finds the cup. And, I was trying my memory of do I remember ever anything like that? And the closest I could come was Costantino Rocca putting out of the Valley of Sin at St. Andrews in 1995. Of course, that only forced a tie in a playoff, which he lost. But I can't remember anybody else holding a shot that long on the final hole of a major championship.
We're chatting with Ron Sirak this morning, tee to green here on The Fan. And Ron, the PGA Tour officially introduced Brian Rolapp as the new CEO of the Tour and PGA Tour Enterprises this week. 20 years as an exec with the National Football League. You've been doing this a long time. Just your reaction to the hire, and might it take someone like him to help unify the game?
Yeah, it was pretty clear that that Monahan's contract is going to expire next year, and they're saying it's a mutual thing. They're all walking away, but the whole live thing sort of made a change necessary. I think that he had lost some of the confidence of the players, and you got to be impressed with Rolapp's credentials coming in. I mean, there has been no more successful sports organization over the last 25, 30 years than the NFL. And he was in media and marketing, and that's the most successful division of the NFL. That's where the money comes from, those TV rights fees and everything. And I do think that the PGA Tour needs somebody right now who's not only a good businessman, but a good communicator. And I think that Brian's going to fill the bill on both of those things.
Well, Ron, let's switch now to the women's side. Another major with the Women's PGA Championship this week in Frisco. First of all, I can't believe it's been 10 years since the PGA of America took over this championship, making it under their umbrella. In your opinion, what improvements has that move made the last decade?
When they took it over and they changed the name from the LPGA Championship to the Women's PGA Championship, there were a lot of old-timers in the LPGA who were really angry about that because they thought that was their flagship tournament. It had their name in it, the LPGA Championship, and they were not happy with the move. I don't think now you can find anybody who disagrees with it because the PGA of America and KPMG together have elevated it to such a high level. It's right up there now with the U.S. Women's Open. It's close to it in terms of prize money. And it's really close to it in terms of how the players are treated that week and the setup of the golf courses. And also the PGA has been able to leverage their power to get this championship to a lot of iconic golf venues that people know from when the men have played there. Everything about this move, looking back 10 years later, has been a win for the players and really for the LPGA Tour because of the increased exposure it gives them.
Any thoughts on Fields Ranch there in Frisco, Ron? I mean, this is going to be a pretty regular host of many of the PGA of America's upcoming championships.
Yeah, this is the audition. This is we're going to see how it holds up as a major championship golf course, And this is also typical of the way they do these things. A lot of times they'll have have the women come in and play an event, and then they learn from that. Then they learn how they're going to need to set it up for when the men come in. So we're going to learn more about the course this weekend, and the scores are a little bit lower than you would expect at a major championship, but then you don't know how it's going to hold up come Saturday and come Sunday.
Well, last thing, Ron, speaking of venues for championships, we have the Hurdzans in studio with us this morning. Mike, of course, one of the architects of Erin Hills, which hosted the Women's Open a few weeks back. Just your thoughts on Erin Hills and how you think it played for the ladies as opposed to the men's setup there back in 17.
Yeah, I'd never been there before, and I totally fell in love with the place. I got there the Saturday before the tournament. I'm driving to the course Sunday morning, and I thought that my GPS was wrong. I couldn't because this golf course is really literally in the middle of nowhere. It's a gorgeous piece of property. I think it's over 650 acres that it sits on. There's no trees. There's no water. The runoff areas around the greens were absolutely spectacular. The slopes on the greens and the collection areas were just, I thought, brilliant. And some of the hole locations, man, it's like on number 4 there, if you have a back right pin, you don't even look at the flag. You look at the middle of the green and stay away from it, because if you miss, you're going to be in a bad spot. I love the golf course, and I thought that, again, that the USGA set it up really, really brilliantly for a major championship test.
Hall of Fame golf writer, now contributor for Golf Channel, the great Ron Sirak. Ron, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for the conversation, okay?
Thanks for having me on, Skip. Talk to you down the road, my friend.
Again, Doctors Michael and Chris Hurdzan in studio with us this morning. Ron Sirak's been doing this for a while, guys. Again, pretty high praise for Erin Hills.
Wow, that was wonderful to hear him say those things, because it's nice to get that third opinion of someone who spent their life looking at great championship golf courses and then have that. It's kind of funny, though, that he said he thought the GPS was wrong. But all you can see, as long as you see Holy Hill, you're in the vicinity.
You don't think about, you go back in time, you don't necessarily think golf in Wisconsin, because summer in Wisconsin's about a week and a half, it seems like.
The big mosquitoes. Big mosquitoes and lots of lakes.
All right, let's go ahead and give away this week's golf prize package right now. Caller number 9, 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710. Caller 9 will get golf out of the Virtues, balls from Titleist, a gift certificate to the Fairway Columbus, some fan goodies, and more. Caller 9 right now will be our winner. Coming up, we'll hit the range with the Hurdzans as we talk course design and restoration as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Looking to up your golf game this summer? Swing into The Fairway, Columbus' premier indoor golf facility, featuring state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators, a spacious clubhouse vibe, and world-class service. It's the perfect place to play, train, or host your next event. Choose from over 350 courses worldwide, or fine-tune your swing with TrackMan's advanced range options, the same tech the pros use. Located in Upper Arlington, skip the long drive and grab a summer range pass today. The Fairway, golf elevated.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts are on sale for just $2.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fan's YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Berm's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell air conditioners instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here for today. Mostly sunny and a high around 90 here for this afternoon for the first full day of summer. And that summertime heat is in the forecast here for much of the extended forecast. We got a high of around 94 here for your Sunday. Plenty of sunshine and heat index values will be near 100. So stay cool and stay hydrated here as we go through the weekend. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
The only ED we know on this show is Extra Distance. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosick on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thanks for tuning in. Congratulations to Hans from Columbus. Hans was caller 9, picks up golf out at the Virtues, a gift certificate to the Fairway Columbus, balls from Titleist, some fan goodies, and more. Congrats again. We'll have another prize package for you next week. All right, favorite part of the show, let's hit the range.
You are listening to Tee to Green's On the Range.
On the Range is brought to you by the Fairway Columbus. Check them out on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. New venue opening soon up in Lewis Center. Joined in studio this morning, world-renowned golf course architects, Doctors Michael and Chris Hurdzan. So much to get into, guys. Let's just go here next. Original design, redesign, or restoration? Which do you prefer more and why?
Well, I think that the original design, it gives you more freedom. When you do a restoration or you do a renovation, you're trying to fix somebody else's problems in a limited amount of time and a limited amount of space with a limited amount of money, and you got a bunch of critics that are looking over your shoulder. Whereas when you do new work, now you have the freedom to really be creative with things. Now, we can still be creative doing restorations or renovations, but you have to have a very understanding club to do that. We're redoing Cincinnati Country Club in Cincinnati. That is a total transformation. Even the members say, I never thought we could ever have a golf course like this.
That was like late. When did that place open? I want to say it was one of the original clubs.
1895, that club opened. It was one of the original clubs. And for them to be able to have the courage to go ahead and make the change was incredible.
I am, again, just fascinated by what you guys do, just with the work. I mean, you're moving Earth. I mean, what's the biggest thing in your world that you don't want to discover when you're moving land? I mean, all I can think about is the home renovation shows where they tear down a wall. They're like, oh, gosh, no, how much is this going to cost now? What's the biggest thing that you don't want to find when you're moving Earth?
I would say graveyards.
Wow.
And we have found those. When we worked down south, we in Richmond, I always remember bulldozer operator motioned me over, and he said, I think we got an issue here. And it was a steel coffin with a little glass window over the face, and then it was a Confederate officer that had been buried there. Well, the project stops for a month while they do investigation and around it. So graveyard is the worst.
Okay, how about like natural gas? I mean, it's just some sort of underground well or something that maybe nobody knew was there.
Believe it or not, when we did RAL, we hit quicksand.
Really?
Twice. And to the point where we were losing bulldozers into quicksand. Wow. So quicksand is not good. Same thing over in Zanesville when we did a golf course over there. We hit quicksand, and you could just watch the earth just kind of fall into it.
What kind of equipment do you need to bring in to get a bulldozer out of quicksand? The curiosity.
3 other bulldozers.
Trees. We always hear a lot of feedback when removing trees, and I get both sides. But from your end of things, what's the biggest reason why some trees need to be removed? And I guess what's the best argument for, say, keeping some of them?
Sure. Well, the first objective, so it's hard because people want to get into the subjective and then you get in the recriminations like you alluded to, which that gets hot real quick. But dead, diseased, or dying. Dead, diseased, dying. Is it one of those 3? And everybody understands, yes, if it's one of those 3, then it becomes a safety issue. And then we go from there. The next thing, with trees on a golf course is you want to achieve, ideally, specimen trees. The grand old white oaks there, or some kinds of other maybe deciduous trees that people look at and go, that's just the epitome of a tree. And so those are the ones you want to save, and everybody agrees they want to save. So between the two ends of the spectrum of, oh, my gosh, I'm inspired now, and oh, my gosh, that's about ready to fall over, is the rest of the contingency that we can all argue over. Ultimately, we have to remember it is a golf course, and it is the point of the golf course is to get the ball from the tee to the green. And yes, the trees are nice, but it's not an arboretum. We have this thing called Dawes Arboretum, not too far outside of Columbus, if you want to see trees labeled. And so we try not to be that callous, but that's the fact of the matter is by default, look, if it's somehow a significant impediment to the playability of the golf course and doesn't fall within those categories, then you're going to make you have to be really good personal injury attorney and make a counter argument to keep those.
One of the other things, let me add to that as well, is that after the Second World War, we went through a tree planting mania in North America. And most of those trees that were planted 60, 80 years ago are on the death, dying, and diseased list right now. And so many of our golf courses got overpopulated with trees. And now we're being a lot smarter about the ones we keep and where we keep them.
How about agronomy? As far as we hear things like that, trees take water, they suck water from where you need it to be at the same sort of time. And we also hear about, just allowing the air to come in and actually do what it's supposed to do to help the grass and the course survive.
Yeah, if you gave a superintendent a chainsaw, I guarantee they ain't got enough big enough bar on that chainsaw, enough gas at the Sunoco station to power that. You wouldn't have a damn tree left on the entire property. And again, it is for that reason. There's 2 things. Well, there's got a number of things we said. Talk about drainage, among other things, is kind of a catch-all. But honestly, Skip, you're absolutely right. Look, aside from the playability above ground, you got the below ground. You're trying to get water on the grass. You got areas of strong catch, weak catch, and all in between. Trees are big. It's a war out there. Trees suck water. The roots grow in, and those start to impact the golf features, and they got to go. So there's another reason the tree has to go, objectively.
You mentioned Cincinnati Country Club. Up the road, Chris was telling me this, up the road in Mason, you had some work at the Grizzly course across from Kings Island. What can you share about what you did there? And I guess, is there more to come?
Yeah, there is more to come. So if this is good, kind of a time machine here for those the older folks in the audience, that still helps hell of a golf course.
Yes,
That was a Desmond Muirhead and Jack Nicklaus design in a lovely setting there between the western and southern, now Cincinnati, and then Kings Island. 22 holes is what they're currently at, and we've been charged with, now that the City of Mason taking a great interest, and everything City of Mason does is, if you haven't been down there, is a very high quality, is borderline transforming the golf course to the standards that they expect modern day. Really hadn't been touched. It was as much a time machine as anything else.
Sure.
It might as well be bald bottoms and butterfly collars sort of thing, which makes us look good because we can't.
I played in that outfit last time I was down there.
Well, you're stylish. Well, you can't go wrong when you bring us in. We love that kind of thing. So we've done 4 holes for them, and the 4 holes are just complete, getting ready to open up, and that's just kind of a sampler sort of thing. And they're ecstatic as expected. It's a heck of a fine job, and I expect the next 18 in the next probably 3 or 4 years.
On the Range was brought to you by the Fairway Columbus. Visit them online at thefairwaycolumbus.com. We could talk all day with these guys. Final segment with Doctors Mike and Chris Hurdzan coming up next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Waddle, hop, or gallop your way to adventure. The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tails of animals from around the world. Explore 8 wild regions, including our newest North America trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails, only at your Columbus Zoo. Get more information and tickets at columbuszoo.org.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Summer savings, Rich is backing it up. He has rates as low as 0% and leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 25 Honda HR-V LX CVT two-wheel drive? Lease it for only $259 a month. 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $30.39 down. And all trades deserve a sweetener. He's giving you an extra $1,000 for yours. See them for all the details. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The Fan is the official station of summertime. Sipping on a lemonade, the smell of fresh cut grass in the air, and Common Man playing fart noises on the radio.
Was that a fart?
Summer. The Fan, Ohio's summer destination.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There are a lot of window companies out there, so why choose Universal Windows Direct? Let me tell you. First of all, I told you so. Also, you can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. That gives you a full year to enjoy the comfort, savings, and curb appeal before you ever make a payment. Schedule your free assessment today, 614-502-5220, or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey, it's better than a free bowl of soup. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosick on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. If you missed any part of today's great conversation with the Hurdzans or any of our past episodes, simply download the Tee to Green podcast. Simply search Tee to Green wherever you find your podcast and be sure to hit subscribe. Final few minutes with the legends in golf architecture industry, Doctors Michael and Chris Hurdzan. Mike, your body of work, again, is just incredible. These are just the courses locally that you've either designed, co-designed, redesigned, restored. Apologies if I left somebody off, so please correct me. Airport, Cumberland Trail, Delaware, Eagle Sticks, Gahanna, Golf Club of Dublin, Little Bear, Royal American Links, Safari Golf Club, Scioto, Split Rock, Golf Depot, Upper Lansdowne, Westchester, Little Turtle.
Yeah.
Is that the list, or did I leave somebody off of there?
No, there's probably, you could put Thornapple in there.
Okay.
And
you designed that long par 3?
Jack Kidwell and I did that together.
Sadistic is what you are.
Yeah.
I'm sure these are all like kids, and it may be tough to answer, Mike, but of the local ones, do you have a favorite or maybe one that stands out where you say, I'm really happy and really proud that I was a part of that?
Well, and I think Golf Club of Dublin would be that. Well, actually, two. Scioto, to be associated with Scioto in any way is pretty incredible. But then to have Jack and I work together on those greens before they got changed into the current iteration was really, really special. The Golf Club of Dublin was great because we worked with Mr. Edwards, and Pete Edwards said, you guys design the golf course first, and then I'll fit the housing around it, and that became Ballantrae. And Pete Edwards, to me, was an absolute genius, as well as a very, very nice man.
And these are just local. I mean, how many have you had your hands on around the world of all these long career that you've had?
Well, we know it's over 500 golf courses that we have touched in one way or the other in 5 continents. So it's been pretty well widespread, and I still enjoy going back and bringing some of these back up to date.
Are you guys fun to play golf with? I mean, I'm serious. Can you go play golf, or do I have to listen to you say, why in the world do they put this bunker here, this green there? Are you fun to play with?
Well, if you don't mind a ball in the pocket a lot.
I don't mind that.
Because if it gets stupid, we just go, well, I'll meet you on the next tee.
Skip, we've had a lot of people ask a lot of questions. No one's ever asked us, are we fun? That's a hell of a fine question right there.
I mean,
I think we are.
Because I have to listen to you guys say, why is this tree?
We are fun.
Put this tree here.
Yeah, well, the standard complaining that comes with, analysis that, the brain to mouth. Again, I think I'm fun to play with. I don't know. I may play with my father, but I'm a good time, man. I'll tell you. Just as long as you play fast and don't take it seriously, let's get on with it. Chances are you ain't playing the tour. Let's have fun.
I'll tell you what makes us the most fun. We do not keep score.
Okay.
That's true.
We do not keep score.
Don't give a damn.
But do you find yourself critiquing the course that you're on that you didn't touch?
Can't help it. You just cannot. It's in your blood.
Absolutely.
How about when you're watching on television? I mean, just like what we're seeing like on tour this week. I mean, up at Firestone or the Women's PGA down in Texas. Do you find yourself looking at that, even looking for ideas or something like, well, okay, I like what they did there. I might think about that for someplace else.
I, in fact, I watch golf on TV, but I don't watch the golf. I watch for the golf course. Because it really doesn't matter to me. I know those guys are all great shot makers or ladies that are out there. So I'm really looking at the golf course. How does it photograph? How does it look? How does it play? How equitable and fair is it? How much chance does it give for really creating shots? That's why the British Open, the Open, is so much fun to watch. And Royal Portrush will be phenomenal this year.
You've done work in 5 continents. With the state of where we're at now, just as a society, is it challenging to do work internationally?
Well, I have gotten to the point where when Dana and I ended our partnership, I said, I'm done with the international work. And Dana can have all of it. And Lord knows he's working in just about every country you could think of that'll invite him. So, yes, I made 27 or 28 trips to Asia. We made not quite that many to Europe. And then travel is a hassle, to be real honest. So I've just given up anything outside of domestic travel.
I tell you, you mentioned the Golf Club of Dublin locally. As far as other favorites, maybe you've had you've told us about the Devil's Pulpit before up in Canada. But
yeah.
What do you have any favorites? Like, man, I'm really, really proud of this.
What about Bully Pulpit?
2 come to mind. One is is the sister course to the Pulpit, which is a Devil's Paintbrush, and that's the Irish course there. The other one is one in Medora, North Dakota, and it's called Bully Pulpit. And because Theodore Roosevelt had spent so much time there before he became president. And if anybody is anywhere near North Dakota, visit Bully. Matter of fact, it was selected the #1 course by USA Today readers for 2025. #1 public course is Bully Pulpit in Medora, North Dakota.
If you're into this stuff, again, I encourage you folks to visit HurdzanGolf.com. Check out some of the videos on YouTube. Even go to the library. I mean, how many books have you written, Mike?
I've written 8. I've got a 9th one ready to go.
What's the topic of the 9th one, if you can share?
My autobiography.
Awesome. You've won the Grand Slam of Architecture. Only a handful of designers can say that. We know it. But it must be nice to be recognized as one of the best as far as what you do.
Well, I do appreciate. I'm very humbled by the honor and the fact that it came from my peers, and I look at the company around me that have gotten those honors, and that's probably as humbling as anything. But I think it really validates the trust that our clients have had in us, and we exist because we had good clients.
What's it like to work with your son?
I absolutely love it. and
our offices aren't.
What's it like to work with your dad?
Our offices are not that close, and we cut out the intercom. Go ahead now, Dad.
We have our father-son. Matter of fact, we call it the Chris and Mike show, and even our clients talk about it.
That's true.
We're not afraid to disagree with each other.
Make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Real uncomfortable.
They usually will step away a couple of steps, but they always tell the stories afterwards about the Chris and Mike show.
They like it. It's real.
Yeah.
This is real world after MTV, but same idea.
Chris, did you always want to do that? I mean, obviously you grew up seeing what Dad did, but is there something you always like I really want to do this?
That question I've been asked a lot, and I still don't know the answer other than it just was the way that it was. I sound like you just kind of metamorphosed into what
there's not a whole lot of jobs you can go to as far as the industry.
Absolutely. It just occurred to me that was what I was going to do, and I wanted to do it well, and it was a good party. My father always said, never leave a good party, and it was a good one. And it's still a good one. I mean, people still call us. You can't advertise this stuff. It's a leap of faith, and you treat people right. Like my father said, you do a good job, people call you again.
Well, it's been a real treat having you gentlemen down here. I mean, how many projects do you work on simultaneously right now before we get out of here? I mean, how many you have your hands on how many things right now?
I think we have 7 or 8.
7 or 8, but 3 big ones in parallel. That's all we can handle. There's only 2 of us.
Doctors Michael and Chris Hurdzan, again based right here in Columbus, world-renowned golf course architects. Guys, thanks for coming down. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Pleasure every time.
If I could ask one question you've never been asked before, I've done my job today, which is awesome.
You did. That's
Fan
awesome.
Sports Saturday is next, plus plenty from the 971, the race happening right now. Reds Cardinals coming up later this afternoon. Enjoy the golf this weekend. Coverage begins at 3 on our sister station, 10 TV. For Nate Puterball, I'm Skip Mossick. As always, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next Saturday morning for another edition of Tee to Green right here on The Fan.
In church next Sunday, save me from those double bogey blues.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Central Ohio contractors and homeowners. Tired of overpriced, low-quality cabinets? Well, it's time to upgrade your cabinet game. 3D Cabinetry is your go-to for fast, hassle-free service and cabinets you can trust from order to install. 3D Cabinetry delivers fully assembled all-wood affordable cabinets. No delays, no stress. Just quality craftsmanship delivered on time every time. Get started with your free consultation today at 3dcabinetry.net. That's 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability and reliability.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Hey, look, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
You know what I love the most about your store?
What's that, common man?
The way you treat people. You get to know your customers. That's why they keep coming back. No sleazeballs around. Just good, clean boys and girls selling jewelry.
Stop in and see the difference for yourself.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. It's where Columbus gets engaged. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Central Ohio contractors and homeowners. Tired of overpriced, low-quality cabinets? Well, it's time to upgrade your cabinet game. 3D Cabinetry is your go-to for fast, hassle-free service and cabinets you can trust from order to install. 3D Cabinetry delivers fully assembled all-wood affordable cabinets. No delays, no stress. Just quality craftsmanship delivered on time every time. Get started with your free consultation today at 3dcabinetry.net. That's 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability and reliability. The Bobcat National Sales Event is happening now at Bobcat Enterprises. Get up to $10,000 in rebates or choose financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the industry's most comfortable compact loaders. See Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville today for incredible savings during the National Sales Event, and find the current specials and full line of products at bobcatent.com. Some restrictions apply. Length of contract and rate may vary. Offer ends June 30th, 2025. Bobcat Enterprises, celebrating 50 years of serving you.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops.
Scream for ice cream.
The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere.
It's in my eyes.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
When you're a AAA member, we do the hard stuff for you. So picture this. You're taking a road trip through the mountains at night, and you run out of gas. Do you, A, call AAA, or B, walk 29 miles to the nearest gas station in the pouring rain?
A?
How about this? You need auto insurance. You could A, pick AAA to find the best coverage for you, or B, spend so much time researching insurance jargon that you might as well have gotten a law degree.
Yeah, I'm going with A.
Right. Okay, you're booking a vacation. You can A, have AAA plan it for you, or B, stress so hard about layovers and getting to your cruise that you need a vacation from booking your vacation.
That's easy. A, AAA.
On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus size.